Race 6 at Warwick Farm on Saturday is the Furious Stakes. It's Group 2 over 1,400 metres for the 3-year-old fillies. Run at set weights, and here are our prices. The Queensland filly, Doubt Filly, $7.50. Dear Demi, $5. Flying Schnitzel, $7. Jade Marauder, $6.50. Maydun, $5. Villa Splendido, it's $13 to $9. Pussy Willow, $11. And Roll the Bones, $8.
Wow.
I reckon this is tricky. This is tricky.
It's real hard, isn't it? I mean, look, you could have something on the Kiwi filly. Just a bit worried about barrier 1. Always worried about it at the 1,400 at Warwick Farm. Dear Demi, gee, she went good first up.
She was great first up.
Probably the run of the race outside the winner there.
Ran up to a trial.
Yep. And, she could be, she's got that Zabeel in a pedigree. She could be a horse that just takes the next step this preparation.
She's staying filly, but then that might have just been that
flattened her?
Yeah, just might. I don't know. Might have, might not.
Yeah, but you just don't know. I mean, she could come out and go bang in this, eh?
She trialled great and she ran up to it first up.
So you got to keep it close. What price?
What about Jade Marauder first up? She went all right.
That's the one I'm going to tip.
Yeah.
I was just
So was Dear Demi the best run of the race, or was Jade Marauder the best run of the race?
I think Dear Demi was probably just it's touch and go.
Jodie finished fractionally in front of her, and
the other one got
the other filly. Was behind her. I thought they were sort of similar runs, very similar runs.
Yeah, I ended up going with Jade Marauder. Also, I remember Nash saying when he jumped off that she really finished off real well, and she'd be a good conveyance second up over 1,400. In saying that though, Hugh Bowman had first refusal on Jade Marauder, and he's elected to go with Pussy Willow. So.
Yeah, but that might be a long-term decision. I wouldn't read too much into that here. So you're tipping Jade Marauder?
Tipping Jade Marauder over Dear Demi.
Thought there were a heap of good runs coming out of that Silver Shadow, as you'd expect. Dear Demi, Jade Marauder. I thought Flying Schnitzel's run wasn't as bad as it might read, being 6 of 9 on paper. Maydun was excellent. And I'll tell you now, Calamba was good too. Very good. And then you get a couple of newbies into the mix here. We get the Queensland filly, Doubt Filly was okay first up. You get Villa Splendido, who created a big impression at 2 starts back in April, May.
Yep.
The Kiwi, Pussy Willow, and impressive first up winner, Roll the Bones, from the Patnack team. I know it was only a midweek and it was a restricted race, but she ran them along the whole way and she was strong to the line.
Yeah. She'll
take plenty of benefit from it. And, I wouldn't be surprised to see her measuring up. I think this is a real trap race. I think there is any number of chances here. I could have something on Dear Demi, Flying Schnitzel, Jade Marauder, Maydun, Villa Splendido, Calamba and Roll the Bones. But for the sake of this, I'm going to tip Roll the Bones on an each-way basis. She's a filly I pegged a long time ago before her first start. I was on her at massive odds on debut. I thought her trials have been super this time. I thought to do that first up over 12.50 was awesome. She's going to strip fitter. I can see her getting a suck run behind the speed, which is likely to be Doubt Filly and single style, popping out, and I'm confident she's going to measure up to these good fillies. I've had something on her in the 1,000 guineas.
Yep.
So she's got to be able to show she can measure up here, and I'm hopeful, but I've got an air of confidence that she will. I just worry that there's only 10 days between that first up run to second up. That's my concern.
And she did a bit of work in the first.
Well, that's what I mean. Like if it was a normal 2 week or a bit longer, I'd be happier than 10 days. But anyway, I've got to have something on it. I'll also be having something on Calamba at the $26. I thought she just caught my eye late, just last 50 to 100 metres, just starting to warm up. I know she got beaten 4, but that was against the boys too. That was the Albrecht Toy Dini form, Tatra form.
Yeah.
So, she comes here with good form lines, I think. And, again, I wouldn't be surprised to see her measure up. Really interested to see Villa Splendido. Thought she really caught my eye like she did most people in a couple of runs. This is a much different grade, but I expect her to make her presence felt. And all these other fillies that came out of the Silver Shadow, well, they're hard to knock, but it's price related, the tip. I think there's a heap of chances, and I've just gone wide and looked for the value.
Beautiful. Yeah.
All right.
No, yeah.
No, yep, happy with that.
Couldn't agree with you more in that race.
Good stuff. Okie doke, race 7, the Concord Stakes, 1100 metres. Atomic Force $8, Rain Affair $2. Torio's Quest $17 to $12. Jeez, he's got deep pockets, that owner. Hey, every one of his horses they back. What about that Nadim's Crest? Isn't he a boogie's delight? Tiger T $7.50, Nobby Snip $6.50, Satin Shoes $9, Mrs. and Asses $15.
Jesus. It's hard because Rain Affair is not as good first up as he is deeper into his prep. So, the $2...
Only time he got beaten first up was when he should have shit in anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, language, Clinton. Sorry. Sorry if there's...
We'll have to put this up after 8:30.
I know. My mate Young Bloke watches this and he's a mad punter. It's outstanding. We let him astray from the day he was born. He got in trouble in, I think it was first class, for running sweeps at school. Oh, just tip off the old block. He loves it. Then he watched this. Sorry, Joshy.
Yeah, well, maybe the producer can edit that bit.
No, Luke there. His mother expected of me.
All right, yeah, look, I take your point. I think he's drawn out a bit, which is good for Rain Affair. I just don't know about $2. I don't mind taking shorts on horses, but particularly when you're all up them. But I'm not... There's a couple of good horses. Nobby Snip, we don't know how good he is just yet.
Not as good as Rain Affair.
Not as good as Rain Affair. Tiger Tees, look, you can't go...
Not as good as Rain Affair.
Not as good as Rain Affair. You can't go past Rain Affair. It's just whether or not you want to take the $2.
Well, if you want to take $1.70 Strawberry Boy, you've got to be taking $2 this.
No, I don't.
He'll win. He's a very, very good sprinter. I know some people say, well, he couldn't beat Master of Design in the TJ, and then he got beaten in the All Age, but I reckon he's done a great job, this horse, and he's one of mine. He's a winner. He's 11 from 15. He's finished second 3 times. Maybe he should have beaten Master of Design that day, but
definitely.
It was his second crack at weight, Group I company, and
it might have been one of those funny races too.
Mate, 1100 metres on his home track, he'll just roll along out in front and they won't be able to catch him. He'll win. I reckon he'll win his Group 1
this prep?
in the Manikato.
Yeah.
I reckon that's when it'll come. Just stick with him. When you can get even money, a horse like him who's a winner, you just got to be on. His winning strike rate's a lot better than even money. Why wouldn't you want to take even money?
I just think the price is based on his overall record, and he's not as good a horse first up, so I think it's slightly unders.
Well, I'm not convinced he's not as good first up. Like first up last campaign, he broke a track record.
Yeah, what track record was it?
One at Warwick Farm.
Yeah, and how many times did they run? Wasn't there some...
the track was like concrete. It was like a tarmac, but he'll win.
Didn't the horse have to have a break after that or something?
No, Joe wasn't happy, but wasn't happy. He wants some Maccabi Duva treatment with him.
Basically ran down a bitumen highway for 60 seconds.
Like that. Anyway. All right, the last race at Warwick Farms, Tramway Stakes. Hey, you know Sportsman won this race?
Oh, here we go. We're not going to get through the carnival.
Mate, there's just one more race in a fortnight and then that's it. I can tell you, he sat 3 deep in this, the trick, and just went straight past him up the rise.
I'll have to wait until that Friday night meeting at Moonee Valley to get autonomies.
I was lying in bed that morning. I'll tell you a funny story. I was lying in bed and, you get all excited and I'm pumped and like it's race day at 6 o'clock in the morning and up I get. And then scratchings came on. And I think it was race 6, scratched, Fawn Park. Well, didn't I let out a cheer?
Oh, right.
He was scratched from it on the morning of the race.
What race did he win then, Thorn Park? He ran a 1500 out at Rose Hill.
Oh, he's won heaps.
I know.
Far laps and... No, this was at Randwick.
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
Of
he
course,
was scratched from this race. And I was like, geez, it was a good scratching.
It's good, isn't it, when you're an owner?
Oh, yeah. Anyway. Mind you, he did beat Thorn Park in the expressway. But anyway, that was 6 months later. Okie doke, here we go. The Tramway. Ringy Rang Do 17, Monton 10, Kentucky Park 9, Steps in Time 9, Wild and Proud 10, Moment of Change 280, Sedcom, 450 to 420. Tagus, no, don't worry about Tagus. Rolling pin, 17.
Tag us. All right. I'll tell you one thing here. Odds have got this wrong. Wild and Proud shouldn't be 10 if Moment of Change is 280. Wasn't much between them in the autumn. In fact,
Don't think he was at his top.
no, he probably wasn't. But Wild and Proud's going very good in track work lately, and I'd be having something on at $9 or $10. Big queries. His class is class. Some good reports about this horse coming out, but might be a bit short for him first up. But some of these Chris Waller imports can get the job done when they're resuming. But I'm happy to have something on Wild and Proud at the odds.
Okay, $10. Moment of Change is the horse to beat. I think 280's not far off his fair price. I don't want to be on Sedcom, I know that. I've had something on Tagus at $41 here.
Oh, filthy rotten Tagus.
Look, his trials were unreal heading into his first up run, and it was off a long break, and he was playing in the missile. But then he turned it all around second up. I thought he was excellent. He only got beaten 2.4 at weight for age, behind Pinwheel, Secret Admirer, Dan Lee. He drops back to the minimum in a race that I would say is probably below that, a fraction below that.
Yeah.
And with horses coming from weight for age back to this level, the weight drop can be a little bit deceiving.
Yep.
As to when they go, through the restricted grades comparisons.
Yep.
But I just thought at $41, I thought he's worth something each way. He's worth an each way ticket. Stats it over the trip and the track are plain, but the $41 just got me because I thought his last run was excellent and it was more like his trial. And I think a similar performance here, he will not be far away.
Okay.
If Moment of Change doesn't run up to my expectations or something like that, and it's a tough race. This is a tough race. Steps in time. I'm expecting her to improve. I do think Wild and Proud's got some hope.
Yep.
I expect Monton to improve. Can't overring him with the weight. Couldn't have class his class at this level over this trip, and want to have a look at him. Quintessential interesting runner. The Queensland Oaks winner. Again, John Sargent. You've got to respect it. Be interested to see how she runs here. I don't know if she'll be a winning chance, but I'll be really keen to see how she runs. Have something small and tag us each way. All right, but I do think Moment of Change is the horse to beat.
All
right, Sydney. What are your best?
Look, Strawberry Boy in the first.
$1.70. That's brave. That's so brave.
You were tipping Moment of Change there a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, it was $2.60, I think, when I tipped it.
$2.30, wasn't it? No.
Yeah, no, you're right. $2.30. It's 60 cents better than $1.70.
What are we going to split hairs over? 60
cents. So if you have
$100
on it, it makes $60 difference. 60? Is my maths any good?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
The fact that I had to think about that slightly worrying. I think Valrossa will be too good. I do take your point about the peso, but there's Mr. Bollinger and Big Time in the race to sort that out.
Big Time won't be able to keep up. Mate, he struggled to tack on their last campaign. How's he going to keep up front in these? He needs 2,000 to be leading, mate. He won't be leading here.
Barry Nye, Blake Shin.
Geez, you picked out two Waller trained horses there.
Well, they're both on-pace horses.
Yeah, Big Time's an on-pace horse when they get to 2,400 metres.
I found it a really hard day. I reckon Wild and Proud in the last have something on it, and Tatra as well. But look, honestly, Strawberry Boy's just a put-in take-out job at $1.70.
Dan Lee each way, load up, Rain of Fair wins. All right.
There you go. Melbourne.